So, hello and thanks for letting us join you today. We're going to be presenting our talk and award-winning workflow, Umbraco and uSkinned. Hopefully over the next few slides, we'll explore the benefits of adopting uSkinned Site Builder for your next project and how that can help streamline your workflow, boost productivity, and most importantly, maximise your profit. As I previously mentioned, my name's Paul Daly. I'm a co-founder and the creative lead at uSkinned. I've been working with Umbraco since 2008, and I have contributed to the Umbraco core on several occasions.
Oh, sorry. So hang on. Let me check. I didn't realise it was my slide. Right, hang on. Oh, wait. Okay, so, well, that was the introduction, so I'm just going to go by that one. That was, we've already introduced ourselves.
This is what I've got to deal with. We launched uSkinned in 2014, releasing theme packages from Umbraco 6, 7, and then eventually 8, and we were lucky enough to pick up some award nominations along the way. Over the past decade, we've reached customers in over 90 countries across all the continents, and we have a user base of around about 5,000 active users. And according to at least one of those users, Johan, he says that uSkinned helps make his life, his professional life, a lot easier. Fast forward to 2020, with Umbraco 9 and the move to Net Core on the horizon, we took the opportunity to reconsider what it could mean to build a website with Umbraco and uSkinned. Enter uSkinned Site Builder, the all-in-one website creation platform for Umbraco, or in the words of Scott, a senior developer, the premier Umbraco website builder. Since its launch in 2021, we have gone on to release 6 major versions, always supporting the recommended and long-term supported version of Umbraco. We now have 50 starter kit and theme add-on packages available, all designed to help get you started even quicker. And Site Builder is now the second most popular paid for or premium package on the Umbraco marketplace. And it is only second behind Umbraco HQ's own Umbraco Forms package. So it's quite an achievement for a product we only released 3 years ago. But in that time, we've also been lucky enough to win 4 Umbraco Package Awards. We're really proud of these awards as they are nominated by the users themselves. And here's a lovely picture of me and Marc celebrating Site Builder's induction into the Umbraco Hall of Fame.
Can I just interrupt and say, so that picture's been photoshopped because I was even more orange than that before the picture got edited. I don't know what was going on, but it was very sunny in Denmark that year. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So user feedback is always important to us, and that's good or bad feedback, but thankfully there's a lot more good, and we're always happy to report that it's looking pretty good. According to reviews on G2, uSkinned Site Builder takes around 1 day to implement. You can expect to see a return on investment within 1 month or less, and we've got an overall rating of 4.9 stars out of 5.
So what is Umbraco? Umbraco is a framework of tools that allows skilled developers and designers to craft a content management system and website to the specific needs of their clients. Due to the nature of the system, you often need a team of people to perform each role. There are lots of great guides online to show you how to get started and build a website. And after installing Umbraco and following some guides, with a bit of technical knowledge, you can get a web page up and running, showing basic text and some images fairly quickly. However, as you all know, there's a lot more to building a real-world website. And as I said, there are a lot of skills sets required to create the perfect website. You have to consider design, page speed, SEO, device layouts, accessibility, and editor experience, to name a few, and the list goes on. So what is the problem that uSkinned solves? We started uSkinned with the aim of solving the issue of creating a real-world website with Umbraco quickly. Back in 2014, there were no off-the-shelf commercial packages that allowed you to build a real-world website quickly with Umbraco. There were some great community starter kits, but nothing that covered all the bases we believed were required to create a website. We therefore decided to launch uSkinned to solve all the hurdles that delay the process of building an Umbraco-powered website. With 10 years of development, we have been able to continually improve our product and provide an amazing starting point for any website.
But who is uSkinned Site Builder for, I hear you ask? Well, we see a wide variety of users adopting uSkinned, from freelance developers, and designers to public sector bodies and marketing teams, from large enterprises. It's perfect for Umbraco agencies and development teams to help unify their code base and editor experience across all builds, ensuring that they are focused on delivering Umbraco websites for every client, large or small, or even if that client has requested the dreaded WordPress site. But Site Builder is for everyone and anyone who needs a website. According to a verified user in government administration, and I believe that's their real name, uSkinned Site Builder is a must-have for quickly creating great-looking sites. So with this in mind, Site Builder can handle anything you throw at it, everything from design and SEO all the way through to launch and continual growth. Our design interface lets you create theme designs from scratch, and in fact, you can create an unlimited number of designs under one solution. Creating content is flexible and the editor experience is always familiar. Instead of a fixed template system, Site Builder is fully modular and pages are built up like Lego blocks. E-commerce comes built in, so you and your clients can see a return on investment immediately. We have advanced SEO features to ensure the success of your site, and it's WCAG 2.2 accessibility compliant. And if you have requirements outside of those features, then Site Builder stays true to the spirit of Umbraco. Extending our code base couldn't be easier. uSkinned can streamline your development process and increase productivity in your team. Well, that is according to Andrew W. on G2.
So what do you get when you install Umbraco? As you all know, it truly is a blank canvas. With uSkinned installed, everything is available to create a real-world website for yourself or your customers. As soon as you log in, you're presented with a demonstration website structure presenting all of the features that are available. There's so much packed into uSkinned, so it's hard to show you everything in this presentation. However, I will try and show you some of the key features. So what you're going to see are some of the main features that come with uSkinned. And over the course of the next few slides, I'm going to highlight and show some of these features in more detail. So back to uSkinned dashboard, where you're presented with the latest user activity. We've included a tour section that will take editors through the main concepts of working with Umbraco combined with uSkinned. We've a quick create section, which allows editors to create any page type. You'll see an option to create, so you have, sorry guys, just reading this. We have an option to create section, which allows you to create any page type. We also have an option to create a new website, since we allow the creation and management of multiple websites under a single Umbraco instance. We use a component-based design approach, where we utilize the Umbraco block list editor to manage content. And this is something that we've always done with uSkinned. We've always had this idea of component-based design, going back to before the block editor even existed. But the way we used to do it was with content nodes. So we would have a page component folder below every page in the content tree. And then within that folder, you would manage your block list elements. So when the block list editor came out from Umbraco, it was like an ideal solution for the way that we were already building websites. So we provide a large component library of content elements that editors can choose to best fit the type of content they want to add to a page. Every component is neatly organized, splitting content and settings configuration into their own sections to make the editor experience as intuitive as possible. Extra content, we provide page level control for some features, including model windows that you can choose to control when and how they appear. We have an SEO tab to fully control your page's visibility within search engines and set some rules that you often find are a necessary requirement. And some of the more advanced features that we have added over the years from customer feedback and requirements. So what you see here is the global management section of uSkinned, where we've customized the list layout that comes with Umbraco to create a more user-friendly interface. From here, you manage the settings that apply to your website as a whole. You can assign the design that will be used for your website. As you can see here, there are multiple options available, and you can quickly change the design of your entire website by selecting a new design from the options available. We've got some form controls. What you see here is an option to select your email marketing platform for newsletter signups and capture options to help prevent spam coming through your web forms. We have options to enable e-commerce on your website. We use a couple of third-party providers for this. However, you're not restricted to these providers. And we have lots of guides on our website on how to implement other popular options. This is a section for controlling navigation features of your website. So throughout uSkinned, you'll see lots of property editors that we have created that do not come with Umbraco out of the box. We've created our own navigation controls to make managing this part of your website easier and more intuitive. We've also customized some of the inbuilt Umbraco property editors. So this is like the Umbraco link picker, multi-link picker. We've added new features so that in this instance, you can see that you can select the button color for certain links. We've also got options where you can select icons that are applied to buttons. Here, what you see is we've got out of the box, you've got multilingual support. So we allow two options. So you can have the multi-tenant setup where you have multiple websites running under the same Umbraco install, each with a different language, or you can utilize the one-to-one Umbraco variant approach. And finally, the section here shows how you manage footer content. Again, we use the block list editor and provide a library of pre-built component options to best suit your content needs. Oh yeah. It's important to note, however, that this is only touching the surface of the content management features that you get with uSkinned. There's a lot more, but it's impossible to show everything in the time we have.
Cool. So design is one of the most important features of Site Builder. It's part of what helps set it out as an amazing platform for non-coders and not just another tool for developers. Users can create entire design systems from within the content section of the CMS. You can add or install an unlimited number of designs, allowing you to apply a different design to individual pages on your site. Or if this is a multi-site solution, then each site can be unique from a design point of view. And on top of all this, you can even design in real time with the visual designer using preview mode. So here we have a solution with 4 created or installed designs. Each is quickly identifiable by their name and their defined color palette. Now, if we look inside one of these designs, you can see a completely custom interface unique to uSkinned Site Builder. We have a wide range of layout settings available, including header layouts for various screen sizes. You can add your logo and favicon, add your brand color palette. You can then use that color palette to define backgrounds, headings, text, and borders, including link and button interactions. Within spacing, you can apply widths and heights, define breakpoints, adjust padding and margins for your components, pods, and buttons. You can set up unlimited fonts for your design, choose from over 25,000 out of the box by using System, Google, or Adobe fonts, but you can also upload custom fonts or fonts from other providers. Each font you add can then be applied to selectors, including body, heading, buttons, navigation, and more. Background image options and settings for your body, header, and footer are available. Make your designs even more unique. add custom CSS for screen and print, add custom JavaScript, or even add a custom code base. But let's have a look at the Visual Designer in preview mode. Now this is another completely custom interface unique to uSkinned. You'll see your website, but now we have design options on the right-hand side. Layout, colour, spacing, and fonts are all there. Only now if you change the header layout, you see the results in real time. The same applies to colours. All of the colour options from the CMS are present. Your palette, header, additional and button colours. You can change the colour of any element, including the background colour, add a gradient if required, change the orientation of that gradient, and again, you'll see these results instantly. If you look closely at the button and the header of this site, in the spacing tab, we can change the look and feel by adding rounded corners. We can even increase the padding on either side to give it a completely new look and feel. In the fonts section, you can add as many fonts as required. Choose the font provider just as we did in the CMS. Choose the style and weight, and then use it throughout your design. You can change the letter spacing and sizes across different breakpoints. You can adjust the line heights, text transform, everything you can imagine you could do with text is available through the interface. Finally, you can view your site at various screen sizes thanks to Umbraco's built-in preview mode, allowing you to design responsively and ensure your site looks great on every device. We know that not everyone is a designer though, or even has the resources to hire one. Most users just want to add their logo, some content, and go live. That's where our add-ons come in. Our 50 starter kit or theme add-ons offer unique, industry-focused designs and website structures geared at helping users get started even quicker. When you head over to our website, you can browse all of the options that we have available. You can preview them in the demo panel, then either install them on a self-hosted uSkinned website, or head over to our hosted platform and choose one of them to get started in an instance. The most important thing to remember is that no matter the design, the structure, or functionality displayed in a demo, each starter kit and theme can do the exact same as the next. Under the hood of the design, each is uSkinned Site Builder at the end of the day. These add-ons are only content settings defined by the CMS. So whether you see a shop on one site or a menu for a cafe in another, maybe it's not in another demo, you can achieve that on every single one you install because those are core features of uSkinned.
Okay, so when using an off-the-shelf website builder, developers can often have an assumption that they will be locked into doing things in a specific way. At uSkinned, I've said before, what we're aiming to provide is as much functionality out of the box as we can provide, and provide the fastest and most cost-effective route to getting up and running with an Umbraco website. We want to give our customers the ability, without restrictions, to add new features that we might not provide. If uSkinned doesn't provide a particular feature you need, or your client requires a specific integration that cannot be achieved with third-party widgets, then you can fully extend to your own specific requirements. We've designed uSkinned in a way that allows you to customize and extend our original code base and provide features unique to your own client's requirements.
So perhaps you're considering uSkinned Site Builder for your future project. What are the options for you to start? We offer two distinct options for customers, hosted or self-hosted. What are the differences with these options? Of course, hosted is a hosted version of uSkinned Site Builder, created specifically to solve the headache of installation and setup for non-technical users, aimed directly at the low-code or no-code user base, typically adopted by freelancers or small business owners who need to get up and running quickly. Although it's not limited to these users, many digital agencies and marketing teams use the hosted platform to demo to potential clients or even prototype ideas for future projects. With a hosted site, you'll get the latest long-term support version of Umbraco and uSkinned pre-installed, backed by a world-class and secure platform from Microsoft Azure. You can manage domains, redirects, backups, and usage from the customer portal, which we have a screenshot of here on the right-hand side. And it's all available for a simple monthly subscription fee. No domain license is required for a hosted website. We want our hosted platform to be the easiest and most affordable way to launch a uSkinned website.
So self-hosted is a licensed version of uSkinned, which has traditionally been the only offering that we had until we brought hosting recently. It's aimed at users who are more comfortable handling their Umbraco installation and setting up hosting or working with Umbraco Cloud. These users are typically digital agencies, enterprises, or public sector bodies who prefer to take full control of the underlying code base and have an option for deeper customization. Again, though, it's not limited to these users and can suit anyone with a technical ability to manage and who are able to manage and set up their own hosting environment.
In addition, high volume users can make massive savings with self-hosted if they sign up as a reseller member. This is the perfect option for users looking to scale up their website output and maximize their profits. For example, we have reseller members who launch 200 to 300 websites each year while taking advantage of the cost savings associated with membership. Ultimately, self-hosted is the best option for users who want to full control over their uSkinned website.
So just to recap, if you're looking for full control of your design, flexible and modular content management, e-commerce capabilities out of the box, and a website built for performance and SEO, then why not try uSkinned? Umbraco, coupled with uSkinned Site Builder, offers an award-winning and streamlined workflow designed to save you time and money. And I just wanted to show a quick screenshot that I think we took this today, yeah. So we ran a Google Lighthouse report against one of our starter kits. So using a page builder doesn't mean that you have to compromise on the performance of your website. Obviously, the scores you get come down to the content that you add to a web page. However, as you can see, if your website is built properly and care's taken over the content, you can achieve pretty much perfect results using our product.
So thanks for joining us or having us join you. We hope this demonstrated what uSkinned Site Builder is and what it can do for you. If you'd like to get started, scan the code. You can get a free trial. Go to our website, learn from the guides and tutorials. And if you've got any questions, fire away after we stop sharing the screen.
Yeah, so that's basically
thanks for having us.
That's basically the talk.
Excellent. That's great. No, very informative. I've heard of uSkinned. I've not really looked at it at all. So no, that was very interesting. Anyone got any questions? How much is it? That's a very business question.
For a license, it's $259. It's a one-off fee. And if you want to use hosting, there's no license fee, but it's a £30 plus VAT subscription fee per month.
And what's like if it's a one-off fee? What does it give you in terms of updates as well?
Yeah, so you'll get upgrades for a period of 12 months. You also get access to support for 12 months. So any version we release of uSkinned over those 12 months, you can install with no issues. A lot of people don't upgrade, don't really need to upgrade. And obviously, if you're running Umbraco 13 long-term support version, you might not upgrade until 17, which is another couple of years anyway. But there is a license upgrade fee if you want to then start upgrading beyond 1 year.
Right. Okay.
But you don't need to upgrade. You can. Your website will run forever.
Yeah, we don't basically switch your website off or switch your features off after a year.
No, your website will work forever. We've got people who've we purchased a uSkinned website in 2016, and one of our old themes, and their websites are still running to this day. So you've got absolutely no problems there.
Do you support, or are you planning on supporting like headless? Is that like a part of the plan?
But the main part of uSkinned is the front end, like the fact that you can control the front end from the back end. So to support headless, I mean, it could be headless. It could be headless the way it works just now. But a lot of the work involved is creating the front end and allowing that front end to interact with the back end. So what you would be doing with a headless solution is asking somebody to go ahead and build all that themselves. But there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't create your own front end headless approach using our product.
Yeah.
Has there been any thought into static site generation using uSkinned?
So we actually had a meeting with, and I've forgotten his name now. So the guy that creates Ecstatic. I've forgotten his name. I can find it, but so he's created the static site generator for Umbraco. So we are actually in talks with them to see how we could use that, because we think with the static approach, obviously, if you've not got anything kind of interactive or like forms, that type of thing, if it's just purely brochure site, you could have really cheap hosted uSkinned websites using the static site generation. So yeah, we are actually speaking to them at the moment about that.
Nice, cool.
And in terms of the designs,
Mm-hmm.
do you if you wanted to customize a design, could you copy a design, or would you have to edit one of the designs that you download and install? So if you wanted to kind of either make your own or
no, you can start from scratch. You can start from scratch entirely. So I don't know if it's worthwhile.
What we've found is, so recently we've launched these starter kits to help people get started, to give them a kind of design basis, and then they can adapt that design as they see fit. But previously, before we released the starter kits, we provided the design examples, but not full website examples. And through the CMS, you can create a brand new design, which basically starts with the wireframe settings, which is just a kind of black and white website.
Wow.
And then you can apply all your own design settings to that.
Yeah, so from the CMS, you can just click create design, and as Mark says, it starts with some really basic settings on it, but you can go as far as you want with it. You can go on our website and look at the showcase, and you can see how far some people have taken uSkinned websites. There's a lot of the time somebody will launch a website, we'll review the domain that's been registered in the license, and you're quite surprised at how far somebody has taken a website using our site builder.
Yeah. Like sometimes we can't recognise if it's actually a site built by us, or
it's only sometimes that if you inspect some of the code, you can kind of go, okay, that's my naming convention.
And are they stored as files on the file system for the designs, or are they in the database, or?
So what happens is the designs are all content settings in Umbraco, and what happens when you save and publish the design node, it generates a style sheet based on all your settings that you've added.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'm fascinated on how it works under the hood.
Yeah, but a lot of that's secret.
Trade secret, sorry.
Yeah.
So in terms of customizing it, if we, for example, built a site and then the client wanted something bespoke, how easy is it to, and it was self-hosted, how easy is it to kind of add your own controllers and code? Is it just kind of normal Umbraco stuff at that point?
Yeah, so it's normal Umbraco stuff, but what we do is when you install uSkinned, it puts everything into uSkinned folders. So you've got style sheets, JavaScript files, partial views, all go into uSkinned folders. And then if you want to customize, what you do is you create your own code base. So there's an app setting where you can define your folder name. So say it's my custom code. And then what you do is you copy all the uSkinned files into your own folders, and then any changes you make won't get overwritten by upgrades that we provide. So like if you're doing a build or you're upgrading uSkinned, what it does is it overwrites all our source files. So the reason for creating your custom code base is so that your changes don't go overwritten, and then you can go on and extend. So with what you're saying about creating like custom components and things, the way we get around that is if you make customizations, what you need to do first of all is install uSync so that you've got a record of the changes that you've made. And then when you install a uSkinned upgrade, we provide a specific folder that contains uSync files of all the changes that we've made within our upgrade. And then what you can do is you can compare our uSync files to your uSync files, do a merge, and then you don't lose anything. But we've got instructions on how to do that on our website. So a lot of people do create their own custom components as well, and then they'll follow that process so that when we release upgrades, they can still install those upgrades.
Yeah.
I should point out, Mark's looking away over this way, but it's because we've got another
I've got a screen there.
Another screen where we can see yous. And it
That's
just
all
looks like he's being really rude. Can't look at yous.
What does the sort of average user of uSkinned look like? Like what? So how to explain this? So as like an agency, so in the context of Yo-Yo or an agency doing a bunch of designs, so they do a bunch of design work up front and say these are the designs we want. Often at that point, in my head, it feels like, okay, well, we have these designs, they're very custom, very bespoke, we'll build it bespoke. But how do people end up picking uSkinned? Is it like we have a design idea already and you think we'll use to sort of get it as close as possible to the design, or do you have it more so people akin to, we just want a website, there's a bunch of really good pre-made designs that we can tweak and sort of make more custom to our brand or our business and work that way?
I think it started off, I mean, a lot of people would probably start using uSkinned because they think it's more the latter option. It's like they think they're going to get a really quick website and great. There's a small client where, or a big client even sometimes, where they've got a design wing to their business who have done a massive new branding project, but they need a small micro brochure website. So they're like, okay, we'll keep it under Umbraco, we'll use uSkinned, it's 4 or 5 pages. And then you'll see maybe they do that a couple of times, and then they realise, oh, actually, we can actually do a little bit more with this. It's not just a simple website. Yes, it can be, but I mean, there's really large agencies.
I think the point is that we think a lot of people think that you can customize it and you can do traditional agency stuff if you're using uSkinned. You're kind of locked into the framework that we've provided. But as Paul said, what we've done is we've tried to create as many of the features that you would expect from any website. So and there's tons and tons, and we keep on adding more and more. But then people that have bought uSkinned start to realise that you can actually customize it and then add in your own features, and it's taken out all that that initial work to get the website up and running. And I know a lot of agencies have their own starter kit, but what we feel we've got an advantage in that an agency might do 10, it depends how big the agency is and how big the websites are that they're doing, but maybe 10 a year of like a decent sized website. And they're only getting feedback from those 10 clients. And even then, they might not be getting feedback because they're getting the agency to, even although you've created a content management system for them, you're getting the agency to actually edit the content. So you're not getting real world feedback on how people are using Umbraco and what features they need. So our customers give us feedback all the time. So we think we've got an advantage there. We've got thousands of users constantly giving us feedback. And things that we thought initially were the right way to do things might not be the way that editors actually prefer doing things, and that all gets fed back into our starter kit. So we're constantly evolving it to basically what our users want, and it's not necessarily what we think they need.
Yeah, I mean the typical user, like you ask, it's really anyone. It's like I say, it starts off where they think they can only do so much, and then they realise maybe a few months down the line that actually you can do whatever you want, and whatever you can do with an Umbraco website, all it's doing is giving you a head start on a number of the elements.
Cool. That's a really good answer. Thank you.
Need to remember that.
I know, so definitely need to record that.
Any other questions?
Just one from me. Where do you see yourself in the market? So, like, it sounds like, obviously we're all Umbraco devs. This looks like, you know, Squarespace on steroids. You know, your hosted version out the box. Where do you kind of see yourselves? Are you Squarespace but with the flexibility of Umbraco? Like, how are you kind of marketing yourself?
I suppose we are in a way. Like the biggest difference between us and your traditional site builders is you're not, even if you started a hosted website with uSkinned, you don't have to stay there. You could have a website that you needed to be live tomorrow. So it made total sense to just fire up a hosted website. Was 3 months down the line, that client needs new features. You can request the backup through the customer portal and then move that host into Umbraco Cloud or into your own Azure or AWS setup. So we're the least restrictive of all the site builders. The thing is,
the hosted platform's just been launched, so we've had test users on it for a good year, but the actual portal where it's self-service and people can fire up a hosted website instantly is a new thing. So we're wanting to break into that market where it is people that would normally use Squarespace or Wix to fire up a website, absolutely no technical knowledge at all. So that's the bit where we're trying to get into. Traditionally, what we've been doing is providing a starter kit for agencies and freelancers and people with people with a bit of technical know-how that maybe aren't developers, aren't working for agencies, but have a bit of technical know-how and will read instructions and figure out how to set up a website themselves. So that has been our customer base in the past. But now what we're trying to do is get more and more people into Umbraco. And the only way to do that really is a completely self-set-up website on a hosted platform where you don't need any technical knowledge at all. So that is essentially the Wix and the Squarespace market. But it's a hard market to break. But what we find is our best kind of form of advertising is word of mouth, and people just start using it, realise it's easy to use, and then they tell their mates or whoever, and that's how our business is kind of growing.
Yeah, we've always had customers who don't even really know much about Umbraco. It's whether they've spoke to somebody who said something about Umbraco. I mean, the vast majority of customers and users are probably not part of the Umbraco community.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. What we've realised, like, when you're part of the Umbraco community, you think that is Umbraco. There's so many people out there. There's so many developers out there that would never even get involved with the Umbraco community. But there's loads of them out there. So yeah, there's that market as well.
Nice.
I just have a quick question around licensing. I know you touched on the licensing side of things, but if I was to install uSkinned and just play around with it from a development perspective, at what point do I then need to buy licenses? When I then put it on a test site, or do you need to? Because I think wasn't there like a 7-day trial or something?
Yeah, so the 7-day trial's on a hosted platform where you can play around with the editor experience. The hosted platform doesn't allow you access to settings and like your normal developer stuff, because we stay in charge of the code base so that we can roll out upgrades. So that is purely for people that are not touching the code at all. To install locally, you also need a license. It won't work without a license. So part of the reason being developers are very clever and like with Xstatic, for instance, you could basically download our product, create a website using all the tools and then launch it and without a license because you've got a static website. So what we do is, if you're installing it locally, you do need a license to work with it locally.
Right. Okay. Smart. Yeah.
Any other question? Yeah, just one from me. From a layman's perspective, just going back one question, you were saying about thinking in terms of putting yourselves in the Squarespace stroke Wix market.
Yeah.
I've created Wix websites. I actually think it's jolly good, but I'm not a coder at all.
Yeah.
Could I use yours?
Yeah, definitely.
Of course you could.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean. Do I have permission to? I mean, would I? As a non-coder, would I be able to kind of think to myself, okay, this next one I'm going to do, I'm not going to use Wix. I'm going to give uSkinned a try.
Yeah.
Well, we hope you would. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
it's only that at the beginning of the presentation, a lot of it was saying this is for coders.
Yeah. I hope we didn't say that.
Oh, maybe I misunderstood. I kind of at the beginning I was seeing it as a bolt-on for these guys for developers.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's seeming that it is some for non. I don't want to use the word non-skilled, but let's say non-programmers.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely for non-technical users. There's a real wide range of people who do use uSkinned. People who just run a business and they needed a website quickly. That's again why the hosted platform, it was based on user feedback. The hosted platform came about because although there's a number of users who are non-technical, they still needed to install it. And that does require some form of technical know-how, especially now when you're doing things through command line and things like that. But with the hosted platform, that kind of takes that gap away because you can basically, as long as you know your name and your email address, you can sign up and get a hosted website. And then you can start building and you can start designing, or you can choose any of the designs that are available. But yeah, we've always had non-technical users, and even like if there is a developer in-house at a company who installs uSkinned, they are not typically the ones that add the content. They basically just hand that over and it's somebody else that's got to deal with it. Usually somebody that has no background in web development, usually a marketing team.
We've seen that a lot in public sector where they've got their devs will install it and then it just gets left to somebody in admin to build the website for them. So yeah, technical person to actually install it and then it just goes off to whoever. But that initially when we launched uSkinned, and it was always you self-host it, but now, as I said, in the last couple of months we've released this hosted platform where we are kind of changing things and trying to change Umbraco really essentially and get more people interested in Umbraco and using the Umbraco platform.
So just something in addition to that then. So the hosted service or the hosted version, okay, I could as a layman go on there and set something up and get up and running. So could it also, does it work similarly if I were to be working in tandem with Justin, for example? So we go for the installed version, Justin installs it, does his bit, and then hands it over to me and I can do the building and the design in the same way as if it was hosted?
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Okay. That sounds cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it sounds like with your new hosted platform, it's really bridging that final gap, isn't it? To just anyone being able to jump on it. It's nice to see because I'm always recommending Squarespace or Wix to family and friends who are like, oh, you're a web developer, you can build a website. It's like, yes, I can, but not yours. So, and I'm always suggesting people go to Wix or Squarespace.
Yeah.
And I did actually have a client recently where I recommended uSkinned without realizing you had the hosted version.
Yeah.
So I'll start switching all my recommendations to
definitely.
uSkinned.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Amazing.
Great to hear.
So, I mean, the thing, you know yourself with Umbraco, with Squarespace and Wix, you need to be a designer to actually build the website. To make anything look semi-decent, you need to have a design eye. So with the hosted platform, what we're doing is providing you with the design part, the starter kits to get you going. You can tweak those starter kits to your own kind of brand colors or whatever you want the site to look like. But the main part, and which has always been the advantage of Umbraco over things like Squarespace and Wix, is the actual editor experience, where it focuses on the content rather than the design. Like if you're building a Squarespace or a Wix page, you're essentially designing each page as you go. But with Umbraco, you've got the designs all there, and then the editor goes in and edits as they see fit. One of the things what we've actually done is content templates, which should never have been in the settings section of Umbraco. We've moved that out, so we've created our own template section where content templates sit outside of that. So what we see people doing is you'll get a designer that will create a page layout and then create a content template for the editors, and then the editor just edits the content within that content template.
Nice. That's a cool idea. Any
And
more from
Umbraco, I don't know if it's 15 or 16. I think Lottie knows, but it is actually getting moved. Content templates is finally getting moved into its own section, and they'll have reusable block components and things like that. We've also got reusable components, but we do it underneath the global node in Umbraco. But yeah, that's all getting moved into its own section.
Nice. Yeah, I remember when they created that. It was on a retreat. It's the content blueprint things. What they call them before? Content templates.
Yeah, they were blueprints, aren't they?
Blueprints, yeah.
Not really, I've never seen people use them though. I think because they're not really very well known.
Used them a few days.
Content was really good because you could do content templates for a block. Lee had hacked around the edge because out of the box, Umbraco doesn't let you do that, but he'd like made it so you could, which was really handy.
Yeah, I mean, and I think one of the reasons why it isn't widely used is because it is in settings. So, like a lot of editors, they're not getting access to that, so they're not going to use it.
Yeah, they'll create it and then don't know how to change it or can't change it.
Yeah,
and it's
can't change it,
confusing
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having us.